the National Legends Cars Championship in association with Park Lane Cars.
Hi everybody, a very, very warm welcome to Anglesey Circuit.
As we arrive here, championship points headed by Miles Rudman from John Mickle of Will Gibson, Steve Whiteleg in fourth. The rookies headed by Ollie Schlupp from Luke Simmons and Ben Higgins.
But if we turn our attentions to the circuit, Kev, we've got cars coming on track now. Just to give you a little bit of background on the Legends cars, these are 5/8 scale replicas of the American cars of the 1930s, powered by a Yamaha racing engine. The grids for the Legends cars are drawn by ballot. So there was a drivers' meeting at 9:30 this morning after qualifying, and the drivers draw their grid position by ballot. If you start at the front in race 1, then you're at the back in race 2. And then what the organisers do, they get their abacus out, or pen and paper, or dare I say even a laptop, work out the points from races 1 and 2. Whoever is the top scorer starts at the back for the third race. If you've had a rubbish day or an average day, you'll start down the front. So the lower point scorers in race 3 will start down towards the front of the grid.
On board with Gary Whiteleg. He's drawn towards the back of the grid, as are some of the front runners you saw there just in front, the likes of Will Gibson and John Mickle. Pole position, though, goes to Luke Simmons from Steve Whiteleg. Oh, here's Nick Bridgman a little bit further back. 321 Leonard Woodcock in the team car. He'll be handing over to his son Dylan tomorrow. So it's Whiteleg and Simmons front row, Ben Higgins and Charlie Budd row 2, Dan Clark and Paul Simmons on row 3. First of 6 races here on Anglesey to get us underway. The lights go out. We Are Legends cars racing down into turn 1. A magnificent field, a great entry this weekend as Ben Higgins challenges Steve Whiteleg on the outside. Luke Simmons is going to be down to third as they head up to the banking for the first time, but Whiteleg made a great job around the outside of turn 1. Ben Higgins into second, Luke Simmons is third. Charlie Budd in white 44 is fourth place, but Luke Simmons' dad, Paul, is going up the inside. Then it's Marcus Pett followed by Daniel Clark. Pett was on row 4. Steve Whiteleg the leader from Ben Higgins, so we've got 2 of the top rookies working hard here, and it's Ben Higgins with the position at the moment. Now Paul Simmons is having a look on the inside, so father and son side by side. Luke's got that sorted. I think there was a little possible clatter between Marcus Pett and Paul Simmons. Pett in the grey 79, Simmons in blue. Charles Budd, as he's called on the timing screen this weekend, in white behind them. And this is the battle for second, which Luke Simmons has got. These two, along with Ollie Schlupp, battling it out for the rookie championship this year. And Marcus Pett is battling it out on the outside, trying to get up into a podium position. Chris Brockhurst running well. Lock up from Nathan Anthony in the Sevan, but it's Steve Whiteleg out front. Luke Simmons in second. Ben Higgins lost a bit of ground now. Paul Simmons running well. Charlie Budd coming under pressure from Chris Needham in the black and green car. It's the second different car we've seen, second different number we've seen Chris Needham racing in. There's Florian Robin in the 97, the French stuntman, sharing the car with Eduardo Gego this weekend. Number of team cars where we'll see different drivers running. Lock up there from, I think, Chris Brockhurst. John Mickle coming through. John, the first of the main championship contenders, coming through from the back of the grid. We saw him on that onboard shot. So John, along with Miles Rudman and Will Gibson, starting this one off the back. They drew positions at the back, so they'll be off the front in race 2. But this is the one where they've got to try and make progress. And Mickle chasing fellow Sussex driver Chris Brockhurst, who in turn is chasing Surrey Lingfield-based driver Paul Simmons. Wide moment there for John Mickle, up ahead of Charlie Budd. Daniel Clark is in behind. Then it is Ollie Schlupp, Nathan Anthony, and I think Mike Schlupp just behind him as they head uphill now. Lock up again from Chris Needham. Steve Whiteleg still the race leader. Scrap on for second position, which Luke Simmons is holding on to very well indeed at the moment. Simmons' best result so far this year is a 7th place. Has had 4 top 10s so far this year, and gaining experience. Ideally for a Legends driver, you're looking at the first year to take the rookie championship. That's got to be the main aim, and then the overall championship maybe in following seasons. John Mickle, a driver who's done that many times, the overall championship, making a move, making up another place as we look back from Ben Higgins. And here is the 98 car. Now the 98, those of you with a keen memory will think, hang on, wasn't that Matt Isherwood at Alton Park? It was, but it's a team car. It's the car that scores the points. Chris Needham will therefore this year score team points in 2 different cars, because he also shares the 99 car with Gareth Sheridan. It's confusing from a statistical point of view, but if you take it race by race and enjoy the racing as we're doing here, nothing really to concern ourselves with, as he puts big pressure here on Ben Higgins. He gets in. Was there no? I don't think there was even a touch there. It was precision driving from the former supercarter. This is for second place. Luke Simmons in third. Marcus Pett, though, has made it up side by side. Ben Higgins, and through goes Chris Needham now. So Needham side by side with Ben. They're coming down into Church Corner. Both of the drivers read that situation well. Racing room being given. You can see how the curbs can damage. You saw the stepped nature of the curbs there, which could damage the cars if you go out too much on it. So Higgins now bump drafting and really learning his skill in Legends cars superbly. Goes to the outside, but the ex-supercarter's got the line that he wants. Luke Simmons still putting Marcus Pett under pressure, and Steve Whiteleg is away and down the road, already heading towards Peel as the others reach the halfway point of that short straight out of the radar complex. Pett trying to break clear of Luke Simmons. Chris Needham will try and close in as well. This is the downhill run to the left-hander that brings them on to the back straight. This is the straight, first part of the international complex, goes down to the international loop hairpin, which is where Marcus Pett is now. Chris Needham up into third. Have a little look further back. At the moment, John Mickle, the top of the point scorers, coming through from the back of the field as they were drawn in this one. Then Will Gibson and Miles Rubban a little bit further back. Superb sight these cars make. What a wonderful shot. This is the view down the second straight on the international loop. And then they go through the final turn, tick off another lap past the pit lane and control centre. Ollie Schlupp trying to get on terms with his dad. He's actually behind Kieran Beattie in orange at the moment, the orange 33 car. Will Gibson about to try and pass Nathan Anthony in the Savannah, number 29. Dan Clark ahead of them, challenging Chris Brockhurst, and Paul Simmons, who's dropped away from where he was at the start. He was very quick in the opening lap, but might have had a problem and just dropped away a little bit in the 51. He's still scoring good points, but just not up the sharp end as Ollie Schlupp kicks up a bit of dirt ahead of Miles Rubban towards the back of our shot. Through goes Will Gibson on the outside run, front of the pack already at the Rocket Complex. Wonderful shot back here from Ben Higgins. And we've got a Legends master, John Mickle, multi-champion, about to pass Ben Higgins again. Higgins sees that Johnny's coming through. That was out of Peel Corner. They'll go downhill on the normal Legends racing we've seen over the years. They'll go right here down the corkscrew, but instead it's onto the Tom Price straight. Tom Price, the only Welshman to have won a Formula 1 race, 1973 Race of Champions, and also the only Welshman to have led a Grand Prix. Wonderful that he's remembered. Lost his life tragically at Kyle Army all those years ago, but as I say, still extremely well respected and remembered. Down the straight we go once again. Steve Whiteleg really has checked out of this one, and this is Steve's opportunity maybe to grab a first win this year. We've only had, I think, 5 different winners so far this year. The race has all been keenly fought. There is Kieran Beattie up ahead of Ollie Schlupp, who has a little twitch ahead of Luke Tukashis, fellow rookie. Hopefully we'll catch up with the rookies at some point over the weekend, talk a little bit about their experiences of their first season in Legends cars, as Will Gibson puts a move on Chris Brockhurst, goes through neatly on the inside at the banking. Nathan Anthony and Jack Parker busy following. That's Church Corner. Then they've got the long run up the hill. This circuit very hard on brakes at 2 or 3 key points, I suppose notably at the end of the Tom Price straight. Then again maybe coming down into the last corner on the lap, and the point which they're about to go up to into the Rocket Complex. See the left-hander where Will Gibson is now. Charlie Budd still running fairly strongly in the 44 car, which is good to see. There's Miles Rudman up ahead of Dan Clark now. Clark, then Mike Schlupp, followed by Kieran Beattie. Keep your eye out for Mark Beattie, our other Legends Cars programme sponsor in the Park Lane Cars Sponsored Championship. And Miles Rudman nips through on the inside of Jack Parker. Meanwhile, this is for second place. Chris Needham there at the moment, and a challenge for third. John Mickle looks for third place on the inside of Marcus Peck, takes that on the hairpin on the international loop. Miles Rudman ticking off places as we go. The late great Tick Stewart once said to me that the championship, the Legends Championship, could be won by taking a third place in every race. And looking at the points, Miles Rudman is only, I think, 30 points short of that. It's 3 places of a third place, short of a 3-place average over the 21 races we've had so far. So Tick Stewart knew his business, and what a tragic loss to the Legends scene earlier in the year. So Rudman will continue to make his way through. John Mickle now up into second place. So John Mickle second. Marcus Peck now has got to set about and see if he can deal with Chris Needham. Back from Ben Higgins' car. These two, Luke Simmons chasing, have been having a super race, and this has really also been part of the story of this year's Rookie Championship. Those two guys, along with Ollie Schlupp, have been giving us some terrific entertainment, and entertaining now is Luke Simmons, who goes through on the inside again on Church Corner, and again Ben Higgins very respectful in the racing. That is really super stuff to see. And as I say, they've been passing and repassing each other, which is racing by definition. You don't see that in too many other formulae. As Charlie Budd, beg your pardon, John Mickle now involved with Chris Needham, who's got, I think Chris Needham's got a problem. Caught me out a little bit there, seeing Chris Needham back in front. So Needham had got in front, but now drops back. Steve Whiteleg, the race leader, very clearly ahead of John Mickle second, Marcus Peck in third, and it looks like a problem for Chris Needham as we head into the late stages of the race. Steve Whiteleg, the race leader, looking for a 27th career win. He's got a few more corners to go just yet, but it's John Mickle second. And this is where the main interest of the race has to be at the moment. The podium positions, the points up for grabs. Mickle holding it at the moment, but Marcus Peck looking hungry for that second place. As we get the camera across at the car's 90 degrees, you can see there's a couple of lengths in it. Peck is ringing the neck of the 79 car, trying to close up on John Mickle. Luke Simmons running in fourth. This, I think, potentially is going to be a career best for Luke Simmons, as Marcus Peck has a look round the outside. John's got that covered at the moment, sweeps across, grabs the inside on the exit of the Rocket Complex. Steve Whiteleg now the length of that straight clear, and an issue there for Kieran Beattie, and I think Luke Takashis, who maybe have had a little bit of a tangle. Kieran rejoins in the Park Lane Cars 33 machine. He'll be back on the track, hopefully be able to pick up a few points. So Steve Whiteleg very well clear. Marcus Peck, look at this, a wide sweep into the hairpin. This will try and earn him a little bit more momentum down the straight, literally downhill towards the checkered flag on the international loop. Will Gibson's come through for fourth, and Luke Simmons, yes, still on for a career best fifth at the moment. Who's got Miles Rudman right behind him in black. Here's the scrap for second though. John Mickle is going to enter the last corner in front in second. Steve Whiteleg takes the win though. It's John Mickle who sees the checkered flag in second from Marcus Peck third. Will Gibson in fourth place. Luke Simmons a superb fifth position behind Will Gibson. Miles Rudman sixth from Ben Higgins. Charlie Budd, Paul Simmons in ninth. Chris Brockhurst wraps up the top 10. Steve Whiteleg though takes a first win of the year and did a lot of hard work. The hardest work for him, I guess, was getting away on the outside of that first lap, and his first win of the season. Had 2 wins last year. There's confirmation of the top 10 as we gave them to you. John Mickle getting the fastest lap and sets the new lap record, race lap record here on Anglesey. 11th was Nathan Anthony from Mike Schlupp and Ollie Schlupp. Then Chris Needham and Nick Bridgman. Gareth Sheridan 16th from Luke Takashis, Gary Whiteleg and Kieran Beattie. Bill Reid completing the top 20 ahead of Mark Beattie, Florian Robin and Leonard Woodcock. Non-finishers Daniel Clark, Jack Parker and the 43 of Stuart McAndrew.
It was tough for some of the championship front runners to come through from the back of the field there, and we've got a 6 different winner, so I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3. We'll have a word with Steve Whiteleg first. I don't think he's going to practice the gear stick side of getting out of the car, which is a new directive that the MSA have said after some incidents at Brands Hatch earlier on in the year, and we were listening to the Legends Cars briefing this morning, and at Donington, which is the next Legends round in a few weeks, they've got to prove they can get out of either side of the car in a safe time. That's for another day. I don't think Steve got out of the difficult side of the car, but we're going to have a quick word with him. Steve, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And joining the winners list for this year. Well done.
Yes, that was the plan. We were starting on the front of the grid, and I thought the only way I'm going to get anywhere is to try and get away at the front while everybody else was battling behind. But I was very mindful that the rest of the guys can bump draft and catch us up, but we made it to the end, and I'll be well. And Richard, you can actually big me up again if you wish for the next round, because I'm from starting at the back.
Great to see you. Great to see you on the podium. And that was a tough race. We saw some of your main rivals in the championship struggle to come through the field. I mean, Will and Miles were quite a way back, which we're not used to, but you are still here, up at the sharp end, and the new lap record to boot. Well done on that.
Oh, well done, thank you very much. Yeah, the quick steel car's very good. It's been on pace in practice this morning. I think the benefit from what I've got for the rest of them is that I've actually done the circuit, and so has Steve, and there isn't many people done that circuit before. It's just usually the little squiggle back down the start finish straight. So it was just nice to obviously do that circuit, and we knew what way it went and what times we'd do and how to set the car up. But yeah, the quick steel car was quick, and we had a good result, so we can't really fault that.
Many congratulations. Great to see you, and well done on the podium.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a really strong start to the weekend there. We had to make the most of starting towards the front of the grid in 7th, so we got a nice clean start, and had a nice battle with Chris and John. So
there are so few different race winners this year in the Legends Cars Championship. You're one of those drivers that has bagged a win. I know you've had a little bit of bad luck here and there. Hopefully that's behind you now for this season. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we've had some strong pace all year, but a few DNFs have creeped in, which we need to try and iron out. And I think we got to the bottom of the problem we had at Brands Hatch in the final race. So car felt good then, so ready to build on for the rest of the weekend.
What was that problem?
It's just an electrical misfire that just occurred as the engine was getting warm. So yeah, we did some testing yesterday, and I think we've got it sorted. So yeah.
Strolling around the paddock, and I catch these two retrobates having a chat with each other. The main thing is, of course, it's great camaraderie, isn't it, Steve?
It is, yeah. We all seem to get on fairly well, so always nice to have a chat with Will.
Well, was it a social chat, or was it a race chat and swapping a little bit of data, or are you here because, not rubbing it in, this bloke just broke the lap record? And obviously, are you trying to find out what the secret is? Or so was it social or was it technical?
I was telling him to slow down, but I don't think he's going to listen to me. You know, he was too fast at Brands. He's too fast here. He's meant to be an old man. He's not meant to be this quick.
And Steve, you're leading the Gerard McCosh Napoleon Trophy, which is for the more senior drivers. Gerard was actually a golden master rather than a master, wasn't he? Bless him. We do miss him, particularly here on Anglesey circuit. But yeah, what a great qualifying for you. The lap record, I think we know the cars have moved on because it's different tyres and everything else, but that was an impressive lap in qualifying.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, the start of qualifying I didn't really have that much grip, either turning or getting out of the corner, but as the laps progressed, I think it was lap 6, the tyres came on, and I didn't really know I'd done a fast lap, to be fair, until I came in and was complaining of some understeer, and Nick, my engineer, said, "We're not changing the car, you've just broke the lap record." So, okay, fair enough. We'll leave it then.
Just to clarify, we were talking about the qualifying lap record here rather than the race record, which of course went to John Mickle in race number 1. Ben Higgins is out on track and set to give us some great footage once again from the 20 car. And this is the reverse grid race, so we've got Nick Bridgman on pole from Miles Rudman, Gareth Sheridan and Jack Parker row 2. John Mickle and Gary Whiteleg are on row 3. Will Gibson on row 4, so we've got the top drivers in the championship. We're actually off the back of the grid. That's the way it was drawn in race 1, and they start towards the front in this one. Here is our view from Steve Whiteleg, who I think is on the penultimate row of the grid. You can see the other front row starters around him from race 1, but Miles Rudman will be looking to do what Steve Whiteleg did in race 1, and that is make a move around the outside of fellow front row starter Nick Bridgman and grab the line into turn 2, the banking. Let's see how it pans out. We are Legends Racing for the second time today. Miles Rudman in black, the championship leader, grabs the lead. Nick Bridgman in second. Third place is Jack Parker. Fourth position, Gareth Sheridan at the moment, with Gary Whiteleg to the outside. John Mickle getting involved as well. And looking on the inside of Gary, we had a wide moment there for Will Gibson. Nice to see Florian Robin in the distinctive car. Whiteleg going a little bit wide, ends up on the grass. The other Whiteleg, Steve making progress on the inside of Luke Takashis. The two Schlups to the right, left of shot, getting involved. And Mike just pops across to grab the position ahead of Paul Simmons, but Miles Rudman out front. Race leader, good opportunity for Miles Rudman to grab yet more championship points in this one as he goes up to radar for the first time. Jack Parker second, Will Gibson third, then it's Nick Bridgman, John Mickle, Gareth Sheridan, he's ahead of Kieran Beattie, his brother Mark right behind him as well in green, down to Peel for the first time. Sheridan passed by Kieran Beattie. Mark's going to try and go through on the inside as well. Chris Needham in black and green in the mix then. So Marcus Pett's come through as well. Marcus was saying, of course, in his interview, he had to make the most of starting off the front, but he's doing what you need to do in these races and coming through pretty quickly from the back of the field to try and join the front group. He's not that far away from them, and it's Rudman leading from Gibson second. Now Jack Parker in third. John Mickle about to try and join his arch rivals at the front of this pack, and he's on the outside run here, just backs out of that one. Jack Parker will take third position across the line on this lap. Nathan Anthony coming under pressure from Steve Whiteleg. Steve Whiteleg rightly now has lots of confidence at the moment. He's driving well, the car is beautifully turned out for him, and he's delivering on a lot of counts. Look at Nathan Anthony though, wonderful car control. You can see how on the edge he was at turn 1, but held it beautifully. So John Mickle challenging. If we look at the cars out front, it's Rudman in black, black and blue of Gibson, blue and gold of Jack Parker, and John Mickle has looked strong on this point on the track in the previous race. Parker kicks up a little bit of dirt, that might scrub some speed off, and John Mickle goes side by side with him and takes third place. So now we've got the top 3 drivers in the championship occupying the top 3 positions in this race. Championship leader Rudman from third in the championship, Will Gibson second in the championship, John Mickle in third, and Jack Parker, who, as we've mentioned many times this year, had to miss the Brands Hatch doubleheader due to the birth of his daughter Starlet, and what better reason to miss a race meeting, but had that wonderful event not happened, he probably would have been in the top 3 or 4 of the championship as well. But enjoying getting the chance to see him racing. He didn't give up on his Legends because he wasn't in with a shout at the overall championship. He's coming and enjoying his weekends away as Will Gibson. I think he's having a look for the lead here. Big breaking point there into the hairpin on the international circuit loop. And it's Miles Rudman, the championship leader, still out front. Steve Whiteleg continues to make progress. Chris Brockhurst to our right. The Beattie brothers immediately ahead of us. Mark with Kieran side by side with Marcus Pett. There is Marcus in the 79 car again, a driver working his way through the field. He was top point scorer in the first two races on day 2 at Brands Hatch, our last event. And Steve Whiteleg having another good run here. He's going to try the outside of the banking here on Mark Beattie. There is Mark in the Park Lane Cars 85 machine, his brother and teammate right in front of him, and Mark pulls across. He's not giving Steve any room, so Steve might now, or maybe a little tap on the back as Steve tries to go for position on Mark Beattie. Meanwhile, it's still Miles Rudman out front. A little bit of an off there. That is Mike Schlupp having a little moment, so that scrubs off speed as Miles Rudman has been passed now by Will Gibson for the race lead. Gibson, the race leader. I tell you what, wouldn't have put money on that earlier on. Quick as Will Gibson is, Miles Rudman is not a driver that you tend to see lose places. As through on the outside goes Steve Whiteleg. Steve Whiteleg making up another place. So Will Gibson, the race leader now from Miles Rudman, John Mickle, Jack Parker in 4th. Chris Needham is in 5th position. Ticking off another lap here, so are we going to see some more place swapping between these three? In car with Ben Higgins, issue 4. Oh, that's a shame. Gary Whiteleg looks like he's going to pull up there in the number 8 car. So far, I think the only retirement in this race, but look at this, the top 3 in the championship all together. This is why they are top 3 in the championship at the moment. Racing hard, racing clean and fair right now, and it's Will Gibson there, but what sort of a run is Miles Rudman going to get on the race leader? Goes to the outside. Is this bump drafting going on at the moment? When will he break ranks and have a look? They're working together, and you can see the 2 cars through the air, maybe getting a little bit more pull away from John Mickle in 3rd place, but they're not losing John. Having said that, he knows after many Legends races how to close in on those guys, and of course the bump drafting gets negated as we look at Mike Schlupp coming up on the inside of Florian Robbie. The bump drafting can be negated as soon as the cars engage in a little bit of battling. Tell you what, Jack Parker and Chris Needham not that far behind as well. So turning onto the Tom Price straight now, which is uphill, and the car's spacing out a little bit here, and it's Will Gibson still out front. John Mickle in 2nd, and up into 4th position goes Chris Needham. Lovely move by Needham on the inside of Jack Parker. We've got so many quality drivers in this championship right the way through the field. That was a great move by Needham, very neat and tidy. Jack Parker in 5th. Marcus Pett has come through into 6th place from the back, so Marcus is going to put himself in a decent position to maybe wind up as one of the top point scorers, one of the trophy getters in the overall standings at the end of the day. Miles Rudman here. I wonder if he's winding himself up for another stab at the race lead. It's certainly close. They've managed to put a bit of space between themselves and John Mickle at the moment. Chris Needham is still there in 4th place. Jack Parker dropping away just a little bit at the moment from Marcus Pett. And then, look, and the next car through is Steve Whiteleg from his teammate Nick Bridgman. Then it's Gareth Sheridan, Mark Beattie, Kieran side by side there. Kieran Beattie, that is, with Nathan Anthony. Chris Brockhurst immediately up ahead of them, and things have all closed up again at the front now with Chris Needham in the mix as well. So it was a trio, it is now a fully fledged quartet battling it out, and it's Miles Rudman back in lead position from Will Gibson. John Mickle in 3rd, a little bit of a gap back at the moment to Chris Needham. So let's see what John can do. Thinks about having a look on the left hand as they come onto the Tom Price straight, but it is Chris Needham, could be the dark horse here. Mickle goes to the outside, side by side with Will Gibson coming into the hairpin. Hard on the brakes they go. If they battle too hard, it might allow Miles a bit of breathing space to get away. So it's Rudman, the race leader, trying to stretch his legs away from the pair battling to 2nd. John looks to the outside. He's going to go around the outside on the last turn of Will Gibson, or is he? No, he isn't. Gibson manages to get the initiative into that final turn on this lap. Across the line they go again. That was the penultimate lap, as you can see. So around turn 1, heading up towards the banking for the last time. Miles Rudman, the race leader. Will Gibson next up. Will is 1 career win shy at the moment of race 1 winner in the career points, career standings of Steve Whiteleg. 26 race wins. So it's Rudman still there. Is Chris Needham close enough to be able to put in a challenge for the lead over this last lap? The lap here is 2.1 miles. They're around about halfway round the lap at the moment, and here comes Gibson going for the lead on the outside on the exit of Church up towards Rocket, and Gibson's got the lead. John Mickle locks up massively. That is how hard Mickle was chasing, and he's in 3rd place at the moment. Here comes Chris Needham having a look round the outside as well. You need all your driving skill, all your racecraft in Legends cars. That was a mega moment. Miles Rudman's trying to get back into the lead as he goes into Peel, but it is Will Gibson there at the moment, side by side almost for 2nd. Mickle was having a look up the inside. You saw how hard John was fighting the car. All of these guys right on the limit. Onto the Tom Price straight for the last time. Gibson the race leader, Mickle second. Now here comes Needham on the outside, challenging John Mickle. Hasn't quite got enough pace to do that at the moment, and it's Gibson still there. Rudman's going to try and, is he going to look on the outside? There certainly won't be a gap on the inside if Will Gibson can help it. Now they all break ranks. Gibson in the middle, Mickle looking up the inside. Miles Rudman goes for the outside run as they come into the final turn. It's going to be side by side in the flag. Rudman though is off and on the dirt as they cross the line. It's Gibson just, I think, yeah, Mickle's second, Miles Rudman in third place. Fourth place has gone to Chris Needham from Marcus Pett, then Steve Whiteleg in sixth from Jack Parker. What a finish. They're still racing across the line. Well, that was a nail-biting finish to a Super Legends race here, and the key thing is all the drivers involved in those battles have finished, with Will Gibson taking the win, John Mickle in second, Chris Needham getting fastest lap in that one, and Chris finishing in fourth behind Miles Rudman. Fifth goes to Marcus Pett, sixth Steve Whiteleg, seventh Jack Parker, then Nick Bridgman, Gareth Sheridan and Chris Brockhurst, 11th Mark Beattie from Daniel Clark, then Nathan Anthony and Paul Simmons. Kieran Beattie was 15th from Charlie Budd and Ollie Schlupp. Luke Simmons 18th ahead of Ben Simmons, the three rookies together. Then Mike Schlupp in 20th place, 21st Luke Takashis, followed by Bill Reid, Florian Robin 23rd, 24th Stuart McAndrew, and then Leonard Woodcock, and sadly a non-finish for Gary Whiteleg.
I thought that was done and dusted, but tell us about that last corner move.
I don't know. Miles tried round the outside. He was probably slightly ahead as we went into the last corner and tried the wall of death, and I tried to give him a space. I didn't want to run him off the track, and I think he just had enough space, but we both got on the power so hard, and yeah, that was close. That was really, really close. That's classic Legends racing, that.
Well done, John. Another podium.
Cheers, thank you.
From a long way back, it has to be said. Now, you had a podium in race one, so you're going to be right off the back as top point scorer in race three. But tell us about that race, first of all. Yeah,
it was hard. I mean, obviously, Miles and Will was up front this time, so we got through the traffic. The quick steel car was good. We had losing a bit of oil through the race, so our visibility was a bit iffy. It was all over the visor, but we can fix that. That's good to get it back out for the final. But as you're right, we're near off the back, so we've got a bit more work to do in the final.
Congratulations, mate, and obviously leading that early doors and then late doors, but that's Legends and presumably why you do it.
Yeah, I think I just took the lead back again a lap before the last lap, which was a bit too early, and then yeah, he just got the draft on me up the big straight, which was he was always going to do that, but tried to go for the first place on the last corner around the outside, but yeah, it's just carried too much speed into the corner, but yeah, you know, we got a podium, a third, you know, we're happy with that, so yeah, it's a good race anyway. So
Dan Clark, we missed you at Brands Hatch, so the question is, are you fully rested now?
Yeah, definitely. It was just the weekend's been back to back. If we'd done Brands, we wouldn't have had time to get the car ready for this one. So, but yeah, all ready to go this weekend though.
And how good is it to be back at Anglesey?
Mint, I love this place. Loved it in the kart. Never been here on this yet, but looks good fun.
And we've got the full international circuit, so have you raced that one in the karts?
Never done that one. We used to do like the corkscrew bit, so I was a bit gutted when not doing that because that's my favourite bit. That'd be all right.
How was qualifying?
Bad. I couldn't actually keep it on the track, but we think it's the old tyres, so we'll put a new set on. Hopefully that'll bring it back to life. But yeah.
Okay, obviously as a former champion we expect to be further up to the front, but you were saying to me just now off camera that you've had a few issues this year and you're just trying to work through those.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the car, we need to get the chassis down to Matt Roach and get it sorted because there's definitely something up with it. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there for next year.
That chat with Daniel Clark earlier in the day after qualifying, but we popped it into the programme because he is on row 2 of the reverse grid final. Florian Robin pole, Luke Takashis alongside row 2 Daniel Clark. We just heard from Kieran Beattie next up from Mark Beattie and Mike Schlupp on row 3. Remember, the points from races 1 and 2 added together, top scorers at the back, the lesser scoring drivers at the front. Doesn't mean necessarily you haven't done well, just the way it figures out. We've got some quality drivers actually at the front, plus some newcomers as well. That's the beauty of the Legends Race 3, is that guys like Florian Robin and Luke Takashis get the opportunity in the grid draw and sometimes in race 3 to have a go at the front, build their confidence of leading a race. In this case, they've got two really experienced pedallers, Daniel Clark and Kieran Beattie, right behind them as the lights go out for the final, which is over 10 laps, so an extra 2 laps. Daniel Clark's going to look to the outside in the number 14 car, but it's Luke Tukashis who leads them out of turn 1 down into the banking. Florian Robin wide in the 97. Mark Beattie in green is third at the moment. Jack Parker fourth. In car with Ben Higgins looking at the rear end of Gareth Sheridan's car. Down the inside goes Mike Schlupp, and Florian Robin is past, but it's Daniel Clark the leader from Luke Tukashis. Oh, and contact there between Florian Robin and Ollie Schlupp as they go out of church. Florian's car just having a quick look to see if there's damage on the 97. Can't see any. Florian will know himself as the car goes round the twists and turns of Anglesey, and it all kicks off in the mid-pack. Mark Beattie involved, Luke Tukashis, the early race leader, is there. Miles Rudman's been involved as well in the black number 1. Here's a replay from Steve Whiteleg. Let's have a look. Oh, Whiteleg got managed to avoid very well. Miles Rudman got just tagged from the side, rear end of his car up in the air. Hopefully he'll be able to continue and maybe get through the field. That's Stuart McAndrew who's out of the race. That's disappointing. Poor old Stuart. Hard lines for him. Hopefully we'll have a better round tomorrow. Leaders already up to the hairpin on the international loop for the first time. Mark Beattie has recovered from those shenanigans. John Mickles threaded his way through. He's up ahead of Luke Simmons at the moment. Then Luke Tukashis followed by Nick Bridgman in blue. But it's Jack Parker now the leader from Daniel Clark, with Kieran Beattie in the third place at the moment. A lock up there from Nick Bridgman. Goes straight on, and we'll look for a safe moment to rejoin the track on the home straight here. The Bridgman Motorsport car rejoins behind Mike Schlupp. So action-packed lap 1 as Ben Higgins now moves into third place. So Higgins passes Kieran Beattie. Gareth Sheridan up ahead of 29, which is Nathan Anthony, and the Quicksteel car coming through. John Mickles, so threading his way through the cars that had those problems. Another car with problems, very sadly, is Chris Needham, the man who got the fastest lap in race 2. So Needham out of the race. Big pity. Will join Stuart McAndrew on the sidelines for this one. Nathan Anthony to the outside of Gareth Sheridan, up the hill into Rocket, but it's Jack Parker still the race leader. Second position is Daniel Clark, third Ben Higgins, fourth place is Kieran Beattie as they head down toward the field for the second time. Jack Parker and Daniel Clark working together at the moment, and there's contact further back down the field, and around into the wall goes Ollie Schlupp in the number 9, I think was involved in Luke Tukashis, who's locking up there. He's got a puncture, Luke, on the front of his car. The two teammates having a little tangle as they came down the old main straight, and Luke tries to get into the pit lane, and as a result collects Nick Bridgman. That's not Nick's favourite part of the track today, is it? Nick will get going again. There was nowhere really else for Luke Tukashis to go. That's got to be a safety car in my mind. John Mickles got up to 5th and he's challenging Kieran Beattie. Safety car is coming out. And of course our main concern is the health, well I was going to say the health of Ollie Schlupp. He's out of the car, thank goodness. Ollie is out of the car there behind the old pit wall, and the organisers doing the right thing. Of course the driver's safety is the most important thing. The next thing of course is the safety of the remaining drivers to get that other car cleared, and that's exactly what will happen. Things are clear now. Lights out on the safety car here. Nice to be guests of the British Racing and Sports Car Club this weekend on Anglesey. This is the view back from Ben Higgins. John Mickle up ahead of Ben Higgins now, so Johnny's up into third place. It'd be brave to bet against John from there. He made good progress through the field. So two incidents really in the opening laps, that one with Ollie Schlupp and then the hoo-ha that we had at Rocket on the first lap as well. And it's Jack Parker from Daniel Clark. Those two could have done without the safety car, and Daniel Clark, former champion, coming under pressure from another multi-former champion, John Mickle. Ben Higgins next up from Kieran Beattie, then it's Nathan Anthony, and let's see what John Mickle has got, working his way towards maybe an overall day win. Remember, it's the driver with the most points on the 3 races that wins the round. Here comes Mickle, moves out of the slipstream and gets second place. Is he going to be able to get first as well on the inside? He does. What a move by John Mickle, third to first. Daniel Clark challenging for second on Jack Parker. Great racing going on behind with Kieran Beattie, side by side with Ben Higgins. Nathan Anthony right up there in the mix as well, past the stricken car of Stuart McAndrew. So 3 retirees now in this race: Ollie Schluck, Chris Needham and Stuart McAndrew. The other great thing about the reverse grid race, if you've had a kind of negative races 1 and 2, it can send you away on a high if you get a decent finish in race 3 off the front, and it can carry forward into the next round. We've got another day's racing to go here on Anglesey. We need to check out the other runners. Miles Rudman was involved, of course, in that skirmish at Rocket, unwittingly for sure. Will Gibson further back as well in the 57. Miles has a look at Paul Simmons, goes to the inside, sweeps back to the outside run. This could be about gaining a little bit more speed through that final turn and maybe having a nibble into turn 1. Hasn't quite got it again, takes a wide line here. There is a much better overtaking opportunity into the banking, so we'll see whether Miles can get that done. Indeed, he does go to the outside of the banking, but Luke Simmons has got good speed on the inside, and Miles will bide his time. Now tucks the car on the inside on the overlap. Again, doesn't feel he's got the momentum. And Miles Rudman, you can see just working out every move, where he's got the pace. He knows the car well. He knows his competitor in front as well. It's great judgment from Rudman there. Now he fancies having a go. Pulls out of the toe of the 51 car. Steve Whiteleg chasing as well. And Miles has got that position on Paul Simmons safely and extremely well thought out, as we saw captured by our cameras. Great Legends racing. We've also got that going on at the front. Ben Higgins putting pressure on Daniel Clark. Lovely to see Nathan Anthony battling for a podium position as well in the first for Savan 29. Let's see what he can do. Always attracts these cars themselves attract crowds when the paddock is when the cars are in the paddock, but that van just attracts more attention than many of the others. There's Charlie Budd in 44. Again, a relative newcomer into Legends cars, the man from Henley-on-Thames, but it's John Mickle now, the race leader. Mickle leading, Jack Parker second, Daniel Clark running well in third. This will build Clark's confidence as we head into day 2. Ben Higgins is in 4th place. Now Ben Higgins in the 20 car, best result for him of 4th position. I think that was at Pembrey, so Ben looking to perhaps better that in this one. Seems to run well on home tarmac. This is not quite his home circuit, but nonetheless our second event of the season in Wales. Now Jack Parker, although passed by John Mickle, Jack Parker we know is very well capable of taking the race to him. So Midlander versus Sussex driver. Sussex in charge at the moment. Daniel Clark still there in third. Then Ben Higgins. Miles Rudman has come through very well indeed. What a recovery from Miles Rudman, and we saw it's not been a gung-ho recovery as well, picking off places when he can. And the next target for him is the 29 Savan of Nathan Anthony. He grabs the line into that corner. Miles sweeps across to the inside. He'll go hard on the brakes, makes up another position, or does he? Yes, he does. He's going to try and have a go at Ben Higgins as well. So Rudman edging towards the podium here, and this is the work of the championship leader. On board with Ben Higgins, looking back, those menacing eyes. So many drivers have seen those over the year. And remember, in Legends cars, to win a championship, you have to drive through traffic, probably 2 out of the 3 races. So it is places gained. And again, down onto the turn onto the Tom Price straight. Lovely move. I should be getting more excited, but Miles Rudman, a good clean move down on the inside, up into 4th place. Daniel Clark, his next target, is in 3rd. And remember, Miles had the back end of that car up in the air on lap 1. So if that's knocked anything out, it's not doing Miles any problems for sure. John Mickle, though, the leader. Jack Parker second. Daniel Clark in third. Miles Rudman looking to get up onto the podium here in the number 1 car. What can he do? Is he going to check up for the inside line into turn 1? They're onto the last lap, so this is lap 10 of 10 here at Anglesey. And Jack Parker's having a go for the lead. Looks to the outside as they come up to the banking. What sort of a run will he get out of this turn and down to Church? John Mickle's still there though in the number 4 car. John looking for a first win of the weekend. I think the only driver in the field to have won here on the international circuit before. And John looking to add another career win to his tally, which is in excess of 150 Legends Cars career wins. And this is on for third place. Daniel Clark under pressure, and Miles Rudman picks off another car. He's got the inside as they go up to Rocket. Jack Parker's looking on the inside as well, and Parker's got the lead. Jack Parker through and past John Mickle. Miles Rudman is up to second. Daniel Clark down to fourth. Fifth place is Ben Higgins. Sixth at the moment is Steve Whiteleg. Nathan Anthony still up with them as well. And John Mickle wants the lead back here on the last race of the day. But Jack Parker, was that appropriate timing? Mickle has a look down on the inside as they come onto the Tom Price straight. Now goes to what will be the outside as they come up to the hairpin. He's got him back. Mickle then drives across, braking to the inside. Jack Parker deposed, and Parker's got his mirrors full of the eyes of the number one car now. So Miles Rudman chasing second, maybe a win. Are we going to get a three-car blanket finish as we had in race two? Here they come. Rudman makes a move, goes to the outside. He's going to try and get round the outside of Jack Parker. It's John Mickle out front. Jack Parker, I think, is going to hold on to second here. It's the scramble down to the flag, and it is Mickle, Parker, Rudman, Daniel Clark gets fourth place from Ben Higgins. What a race that was. Passing and repassing. There aren't too many formulae where you see that race after race after race. Some serve it up occasionally. Legends cars do it all of the time. And John Mickle outfoxing Jack Parker over the last couple of laps to take the win. Miles Rudman got fastest lap though. He was third, so it's Mickle, Parker, Rudman. Daniel Clark fourth. Ben Higgins fifth from Steve Whiteleg and Nathan Anthony. Marcus Pett eighth. Then Paul Simmons. Will Gibson rounding out the top 10 from Gareth Sheridan. Kieran Beattie ahead of Mark, 12th and 13th. Charlie Budd next up from Mike Schlupp and Chris Brockhurst. Nick Bridgman 17th from Luke Simmons. Florian Robin 19th. Bill Reid in 20th from Lenny Woodcock and Luke Tukashis. Luke the last of the finishers after changing that tyre. And fastest lap, as we said, to championship leader Miles Rudman.
So, John, many congratulations on another win, and that was tough.
That was tough, yeah. I mean, I had a bit of luck in the first couple of laps. There was like a part of the waves, and I got through some traffic quite quick. But then the safety car came out, and I knew Jack was very strong, and I thought I got away. But you know, with the wind and the drag and the way you can pull people into the back straight, it's a job to get away. And Jack was there, always there, and I made one mistake, and he was passed, and I had to get past him again. But the quick steel car and the Dave's done a good job, and hopefully we can get it all right for tomorrow.
Well done, Jack. Nice to see you. The man who led the championship after Alton Park round one. How's the baby, first of all? Important family matters.
Yeah, everything's fine at home. A few sleepless nights, but yeah, we're
Don't worry, it only goes on till they're teenagers, and then the bigger problems kick in.
Yeah, they're asking for money, and yeah, I can imagine. But we'll find out.
Back to the race anyway, and good to see you. A really good podium, a fantastic race with John.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race. Shame I couldn't put a bit more of a battle up for John. I managed to overtake him up the top, but just could not hold it. He just had the run on me, and that was it. I was just a sitting duck for John. But yeah, managed to keep second. Happy with that.
Miles Rudman, P3, good run through the field. Safety car comes a little bit of relief because it was getting strung out.
Yeah, I think the safety car definitely helped me a bit there. I mean, I had a airborne in the first couple of corners, and it dropped me back a bit, but yeah, just got my head down and tried to get the best out of it, really. Third was the best that we could do. I did catch up with John and Jack at the end, but it was just too late.
How different is it racing on the international to the coastal circuit, which I think you guys are used to?
Yeah, it's slightly different. Obviously, it's a bit quicker. Obviously, there's more to think about, and obviously longer laps, but I'm really enjoying it, to be fair. Yeah, it's great.
So the 8th round of the championship is won by John Mickle from Miles Rudman and Steve Whiteleg joint second. Will Gibson next up from Marcus Pett and Jack Parker. Nathan Anthony joint 7th with Ben Higgins. 9th on the day, Paul Simmons, and rounding out the top 10 is Dan Clark. The championship still headed by Miles Rudman as we head into day 2 here on Anglesey. John Mickle second from Will Gibson and Steve Whiteleg. Marcus Pett in 5th, and Jack Parker rounding out the top 6 ahead of Chris Brockhurst and Charlie Budd. Thanks for watching today. Join us for more action on Anglesey next time. Bye for now.